Hey everybody, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel, coming to you live from my kitchen, not in my studio today, with my peg loom right here, wanting to spend a little time with you talking about being open to inspiration. You know, there's sometimes a feeling as creators and makers that we have had a great idea or an inspiration or an idea for a project or for a painting or whatever it is, and then we don't really get any other ones. And I think it's extremely important that we understand ourselves to be kind of like rays of sunlight, and that we have fresh inspiration, fresh thought, fresh ideas every single day. Welcome back to the channel. So it's Sam from thesamanthawild.com. So grateful you're here. Thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. It really, really matters. I'm so grateful for my subscribers. Kiss to all of you for being so wonderful and being here with me. I hope that you find these videos inspirational and for your creativity and for your life, and you get new ideas. But speaking of new ideas, I want to talk to you about a very old idea, which is the peg loom. And the peg loom is so old, it said it was used, I think, during the Viking times. I am no expert on the peg loom, however. The peg loom is one of 4 looms that I have. I love looms. I feel like they're people with personalities. I'm working on ripping apart a beautiful sheet. I loved this sheet. It's flannel, soft, it's beautiful bluebirds on it. But for some reason, I used it for, 7 years or something, not even a lifetime, and it started to rip, and it got a giant rip, a giant hole in the middle of it. And now I am taking it apart. So the thing about fresh inspiration and fresh creative inspiration and allowing it to be new every day is that we tend to have this sense in our culture, and our culture is very based on limitation and there not being enough, that we can only have one revelation, and then that somehow has to last us for a long time. But inspiration, creative inspiration and creative revelation is like taking a shower. You get to have it way more than once. It's like eating a meal. You get to have it multiple times a day. And the harder things get on the outside, which is to say the climate, the political climate, or simply your personal life, the more significant and important it is that we are sitting down at our creative inspirational buffet as many times as possible. So a meal once a month, that's not going to cut it. And my area of expertise, both as a creator and a maker and a writer and a weaver and a human and a mother, is really to be helping myself and others to open up that channel of creativity where we experience ourselves as rays of sun, as being able to get that fresh inspiration every day or every single moment that we need it. There is something very satisfying about ripping material. Even material that I love, that I'm kind of sad has to be ripped, but there was nothing else to do with it. There was no stitching up and fixing that gigantic hole. And so this piece on my peg loom is going to become a rug, and it is the softest, most delicious feeling to it. It is so thick. I don't know if you can see the density of it. I love the peg loom. I love in particular the way it kind of weaves and waves. My other looms don't offer what I feel like the peg loom offers in terms of how satisfying it is to work with rags, to work with material. And this is what we do when we become creators. The rags are the bits and the pieces, the raw material that doesn't even seem that useful from our life. So what I bring to my creating is the argument I had with my spouse, or the hard time I had with my child, or the work I'm doing on healing my inner child. Those are all rags. Those are all bits and pieces that we bring into our creating and our making. And if we aren't creating and making with and using those bits and pieces, then we aren't creating and making in our integrity, in our wholeness. But if we can draw and use the rags and the bits from our lives, then we really can be open to that absolutely new and fresh creativity every day. Waking up in the morning and say, what can I use today? And you can do that for your life as well as for your art. What can I use today? One of the things I love most is to challenge myself to create or weave something with just what I have. So somebody the other day donated or gave to me a bunch of different yarns, including a bag full of yarns that were bright pinks and oranges. And I looked at the bag and I thought, this is a sunrise or a sunset. And I wanted to weave just with that bag. About a year ago or so, I had a friend who brought a bag to me, and it had a rag, actual rags. It was an old cloth that had been turned into a rag because it was falling apart, a gold foil balloon, and then some really cool fabric that kind of like in a headband shape with pink and with flowers. And so my challenge to myself was to turn that, just those things, into something. This is a wonderful way. So our sense of being open to inspiration is not necessarily about being open to the fact that there's infinite ideas, but actually we can challenge ourselves even inside of the limitations. So if you are feeling limited and like you don't have access to everything, every color that you want, or every, you're not in the perfect studio, or you're not in the perfect space in your life, those limitations can prove to be incredible. I think about Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and he was a Holocaust survivor, and he came up with positive psychology, or it has a different name, don't quote me on exactly what it was, but he had incredible revelations and realizations inside of a very small and horrific situation. So we never want to think, oh, well, I can't get inspiration because I'm not in my dream home, I'm not in my dream life, I'm not in my dream world. It can always, always come to us. So I hope that you are creating today, opening up that channel, remembering that you are a ray from the sun. And don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for being here with me. I hope you have a beautiful day.